Hi all, this is Dr. Sage Breslin and this is Wisdom Wednesdays. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about fear because there's a lot going around lately. And we as leaders often feel like we're not allowed to have fear, that we can't allow it to affect us. And yet we're human. And as humans, fear is just part of our very primal process. You think about the amygdala, it's responsible for that fight, flight, or freeze, right? It is sort of everything before the prefrontal cortex. It isn't particularly rational unless, of course, you're in, archaic times and you're running from a woolly mammoth, right? Then fear is really important. And fear is natural. We have something called healthy fear, right? When you are driving too fast on a curvy road, you need to know that fear is what's there to help you slow down, to make a decision that is consistent with your environment. But again, perhaps when we're in our human state, fear is reasonable, right? You can allow yourself to be afraid of things that, are uncomfortable and worrisome and anxiety provoking and even dangerous. But as leaders, we shy away from stepping in or leaning into fear. And I get it. As leaders, we don't want to let fear sort of overtake us, right? We are really trying our best to not let us be guided by fear or even all that informed by fear. We try to be courageous. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that right now, there are so many of us, especially in leadership roles, that are denying the fear that lives below the surface. We're acting in the as if, right? We are trying to somehow pretend that the fear is not there. And yet, when we pretend that the fear is not there, it's also a state of denial that the problem's not there. So perhaps we can strike a balance between living in fear and managing fear as leaders. As people, I think you got this. But as leaders, we need to allow our teams to know that we are authentic, that we're human. We need to be able to really experience and express most of our feelings. Obviously, we don't want to take them down the rabbit hole. We want to be confident in who we are, that we have a plan, that we can move forward with the plan. But we also have to let them know that we're human and we too have feelings, because it gives them permission to have their feelings. And if they can express their feelings, especially if they can get your guidance or support or even just comfort, it allows them to be freer to do their job as well. So whether you're in a leadership role with your family, with your community, with your tribe, or your team in the workplace, if you are experiencing fear at this time, please don't deny it. Get active. Do what you can do. You may not be able to control your source of fear. You may not be able to have an impact, but there are things you can do. And I'm going to go ahead and leave some of those right here below so that you can study what they are and see if they are perhaps useful to you. This is Dr. Sage Breslin, and my wisdom for the day is don't shut your eyes to fear. Allow it to be present, allow it to guide you if necessary, and allow yourself to express and experience that with others. This is Dr. Sage Breslin, and have a great Wednesday.